Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0 to 18 here, and welcome back to the channel. To start things off, thank you all so much for getting me past 1,000 subscribers. I've been on the journey to 1,000 subs for almost a year at this point, and I've ran this channel for over 5 years. This calls for something special. I ran several community polls on what the video should be, and the one you guys decided on is Electivire and Pokemon Platinum. Let's talk about what kind of Pokemon Electivire is before I get into how this video will work. Electivire is the final stage evolution of Elekid and Electabuzz. It has a base stat total of 540 with a massive 123 attack stat along with a 95 in special attack and speed. It's good special defense, but it has pretty bad defense and HP, but overall, quite a balanced physical attacker. It also has an interesting moveset. Via level up, it gets access to Thunder Shock, Quick Attack, Low Kick, Swift, Shockwave, Thunder Punch, Discharge, and Thunderbolt, as well as some other good moves. You may see Fire Punch here, but I only get it via move reminder, so if I want it, I better get a Heart Scale. With TMs though, some notable TMs include Focus Punch, Iron Tail, even though I'm pretty sure it does not have a tail, Earthquake, Return, Dig, Psychic, Brick Break, Flamethrower, Rock Tomb, Focus Blast, Charge Beam, and Rock Slide. Since Electivire is a powerful physical attacker, I think we'll be relying more on physical moves. We'll see. Now let's get into how the video will work. I will not only be talking about the run like I do in every video, but for some boring sections like evil villain plotline stuff, I'll be answering some questions you guys have given me in my YouTube community tab, along with a brief history of the channel thrown in here and there. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the run. I start the run and then head to my rival, where we go and try to catch the legendary Pokemon of the lake, but then we realized we don't have any Pokeballs. So I run to Sandgem Town to Professor Rowan, where I name my Electivire Speed, and then Lucas gives the tour of the town. I then have to go back home to tell my mom I'm going on a journey, and as I head back to Sandgem Town, I'll answer some questions from one of you amazing people. The first person I'll answer from is Roseblade. What is your favorite movie and why did you start your channel originally? I'll answer the second question first. I wanted to do speedruns when I was a mid-teen in my freshman year of high school, but I didn't know how to do any of this YouTube stuff. So when I created my channel, for the first 3 years, all I did was speedruns of various games to try and get good at it, and get well known for it basically. I wanted to be the new Worster, but I'm clearly nowhere near his skill level, dedication, or toxicity, but he's still pretty good. Also, for favorite movie, it's definitely going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. It was the first Spider-Man movie I've seen since the original Tobey Maguire movies, and this one did not disappoint. Like, that was the last time I've been in a movie theater, because I haven't seen anything worth seeing since that. I'll get to more questions later, as Lucas shows me how to catch a Pokemon, and then I defeat the trainers on my way to Jubilife City, and along the way I capture a Bidoof. I talk to Looker in town, give my rival the town map, and I do my first rival battle on the clock with him. He starts off with Starly, which is no match for Thundershock, and his Chimchar does not handle Thundershock that well either. I then go through the rest of Route 203, skip the trainers, and then enter Orberg City, where I go straight to the mine, tell Rourke to go back to the gym, escape rope out with the free escape rope in here, and then I go into his gym and defeat the 2 gym trainers in here since I'm not a high enough level yet for Rourke. I defeat them, heal to full, and then I battle Rourke. Since his Geodude is very light, Low Kick won't do much damage, so I try and use a Leer first. His Onix afterwards is a 2-hit, and then I move on to Cranidos at dangerously low health, and then a single Pursuit knocks me out. On the next attempt, I defeat the Geodude with 18 HP for Onix. The Onix though is not a threat, but this time it dealt a lot of damage to me. Okay, I hope 9 HP is enough to take out the Cranidos before it takes me out, and the answer seems to be no. On attempt number 3, I get better luck with Onix as it goes for Screech instead of Rock Throw, and I can 2-hit his Cranidos for a time of 14 minutes and 41 seconds. Man, 2 resets for the Rock Gym is not a good look so far, but the run has only just started, so we'll see from here. With the coal badge in hand, I heal at the center, buy some repels, potions, antidotes, and paralyzed heals at the mart, and while I do the long journey to Floroma Town to do the Valley Windworks side quest, I'll answer another person's question. The next person is Anish Dish Pandey, hope I said that right. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The only answer I can give you is a Minecraft one, which is the chicken, but if you're talking about Pokemon, it is the egg, since Arceus is the god of all Pokemon, and it hatched out of an egg when nothing else existed. Okay, let's do another person. The next person is GZ, a fellow friend and speedrunner of mine. He asks if I plan to do the Teach Pikachu Surf glitchless speedrun at some point, or if I'm doing the Pikachu alt main starter speedrun for Yellow. To be honest, I really want to start doing real speedruns again. I told myself I will start doing them again once I hit 1,000 subs, so I can stop worrying about sub numbers as much. I don't know what category I'll run first though. In the past, I only not ran Pokemon, but also tons of other games like Ultimate Spider-Man on the GBA, Monster Lab, Dora's Superstar Adventure, Don't Ask, and even Blast Corps, which is honestly Rare's most underrated game on the 64. When I decide what to run next, I'll do some streams on YouTube, and then when I get a personal best or a world record, I'll upload it to YouTube, but I will not stop the full solo run videos. Okay, now we are in Floroma Town. I defeated the grunt in front of the Windworks, rescue the honey salesman, get the key to the Valley Windworks, and then I enter the building and go battle Team Galactic Commander Mars. Her first Pokemon, Zubat, goes down not 1 Thundershock, but 2, which is quite concerning, and then the Purugly afterwards takes me out quite easily. On the next attempt, the same thing happens. I'll skip a few attempts and show what happens 4 resets in. I was so close to defeating Mars, and I use a quick attack, but it doesn't do enough and it finishes me off. Okay, I realize what the problem is. I forgot to fight the 2 grunts in here to get to level 15 for damage rounding. That is quite embarrassing. I also go outside to give Electivire a Pecha Berry in case Toxic is used by Zubat, but I didn't update the overlay again. Oh well, it'll be gone after the fight anyway. I'm generally not good at updating the overlay with an item that's going to be gone during the battle. On this attempt, with level 15 achieved, I knock out Purugly with 2 low kicks, but even if it had lived, I do have quick attack. And then I learned the move Swift over Quick Attack, which is a 60 base power normal type special attack that never misses. I'll take it. Now we have one of the last super difficult battles for Electivire, Gardenia. Her Pokemon resists electric moves, and her team is honestly quite scary for this point. Her Turtwig has Reflect to make my physical attacks do less damage, and her Cherrim has Leech Seed, which is basically a death sentence. I need to be a minimum of level 25 for the fight since I found that out in routing, so I battle every single trainer from the Windworks until the gym leader battle. While doing this, time for another person. Next up is Yin Yang Smith, who's actually my girlfriend, as you can tell if you're in my Team Speedsters Discord server. She asks me, what is your favorite Pokemon to play? And I'm honestly not sure. I just like using Pokemon that are deemed bad by lots of people, but then find out they're good, with the right moveset. No, not you, get the f*** off my screen. After defeating the trainers on Route 205, I enter Eterna Forest where I team up with Cheryl. I enter a wild battle and run away so she can heal my Pokemon. I have to defeat everyone in here too, so I guess it's time for another question. The next question is from Virtual Tools _, who is my IRL best friend. He asks me what games I decide to speedrun and what game Charizard is most OP in. I'll start with question number 2. I'll have that answered once I've done all the live streams for Charizard. I'll even do a Charizard live stream for the games I've already done, like Yellow, Leaf Green, and Emerald. But so far, of the 2 that I've done, Platinum and Black, I think it'll be Platinum since it'll have Dragon Rage for Rourke, and the rest of the game was super nice, but not as good as Lucario. Maybe Electivire can defeat both of them? We'll see. Also, for what games I decide to run, I assume you're talking about my speedrun analysis series. I originally did Yellow, Leaf Green, and Emerald, but before the new year, 2023, I wanted to start doing all of the first 5 generations of games. So I'll be doing Red, Yellow, Crystal, Sapphire, Leaf Green, Emerald, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Black, and White too. I've already done Yellow, Leaf Green, Emerald, and Platinum, and very soon Black. But by the end of the year, I will have all these games in the series. But for real speedruns, Just whatever I feel like, basically. Anyway, even though I defeated all the trainers in the forest, I still need to catch a Baniri since we need the amulet coin where I can grind for money to purchase hidden power at the game corner. Try to guess what hidden power type I chose in the comments and see if you are right. After I get the Soothe Bell from Cheryl, I put it on Electivire and defeat the fisherman on Route 204 North, and then I go through Eterna City to Route 211, where I defeat the trainers there as well. Then afterwards, I can enter the gym, defeat the gym trainers, get to level 25, teach Light Screen over Leer, which is going to reduce damage from Grass Knot, and then I take on Gardenia. First up is her Turtwig. Turn 1, it likes to use Reflect, but 2 uses of Return take it out. Now Return is doing very little damage to Cherub due to Reflect, and since it used Leech Seed, it puts me at too low of HP for Roserade and I get another reset. On the next attempt, I get past her Pokemon quite nicely, which is quite nice. I was honestly thinking this was going to be harder, but hey, a win is a win, I'll take it. I re-equip the Soothe Bell, and then enter the Galactic building and battle the Team Galactic Commander Jupiter up top. Her Zubat, unlike Mars, is actually a one-hit with Shockwave, which I learned via level up, and then her Skunk Tank, which is quite bulky, also hits like a semi-truck, as its first Night Slash crits me and I get put at 17 HP left, and then Electivire gets knocked out. Jeez, this is some bad luck in the early game. The next attempt is free of any critical hit shenanigans, so I can finally move on. But before I can leave the city, I use the center, get the Explorer Kit, which is banned in my runs since you can get good stuff underground, the egg from Cynthia, the bike, which I can use, and then I buy some repels and escape ropes at the mart, and then I go down Cycling Road, avoid all the trainers, and then enter the secret entrance to Wayward Cave. We are here just like in Lucario and Charizard to get the rare candy in the TM for Earthquake. I escape rope out and go back into Orberg City. I'm not here to revive a fossil or something like that. I'm actually going back into the Orberg Gate, and if you have Rock Smash and the bike, you can get the TM for Brick Break, which is a very great fighting type move for Electivire, especially on lighter Pokemon, which Low Kick is not good on. I then get out of there, defeat the Picnicker and Camper, get the rare candy and the Versus Seeger from Lucas, talk to Cyrus, and then enter Route 208. I capture a B Barrel here, which show up 20% of the time, and I can use it for Surf, Strength, Rock Climb, and Waterfall, so very useful. The next city is Hearthome City. I use the center and enter Amity Square with my Baniri to get the Amulet Coin. We don't need it yet though, because I enter Fantina's gym, but excitingly, I forgot to save before her, so I guess we're fighting her right away. I wanted to equip the Rostberry here in case Duskull uses Will-O-Wisp, but it luckily does not, and on her Haunter, I get hit with Duskull's Future Sight, and then I get put to sleep with Hypnosis. I do wake up quickly, but Shadow Ball from Mismagius does too much damage and I get knocked out. Since I didn't save since Gardenia, instead of resetting the game, I just let everything knock itself out, and then I come back here after I black out. Before I fight her again, I battle one gym trainer to get to level 28, where I learn Thunder Punch over Shockwave. This is Electivire's best electric type move, since it utilizes its great physical attack. When I arrive back at Fantina with the more powerful Thunder Punch, this battle is completely trivial, although we are only an hour into the run so far. For reference, at this point, Charizard beat Fantina at 53 minutes and 14 seconds, and Lucario was 43 minutes and 49 seconds. So far, Electivire is doing quite poorly. But let's not think about it right now, as it's time for Rival 3. Even though his Staravia has Double Team and Endeavor and can be quite scary in the right circumstances, since I have Thunder Punch, his whole entire team is super easy and not scary this time. While I go through Route 209 and enter Solaceon Town to get the HM for Defog, I'll answer another person's questions. Our next set of questions is from John Calabro. He asks, what are my plans for the future of the channel? What game will be the hardest for Charizard? And will I still do my punishment from the Steve M. Ployce Cloyster Race collab on my channel, which is Leaf Green Plusle vs Minun? First of all, I will still do that video. I'm just waiting until I get the new games introduced first, so that run's going to be later in the year. My future plans are to do this series with all of the new games I want, which I stated earlier. Plus, I want to stream myself doing speedruns and hopefully set some world records, which is what my channel started in the first place. And for the hardest game, I'm gonna call it right now. We'll see if I'm right. I'm gonna call Emerald because it has too much water. We'll see if I'm right. Since I just picked up the HM for Defog, since I won't have a no miss move for the foggy section of the game, and we still need to get to Veilstone City, I'll do another person's questions. Our next set of questions comes from Scott's Thoughts. Yes, that's Scott's Thoughts. One of the best Pokemon YouTubers on the platform, and I hope one day to come anywhere close to his greatness. His questions are, how I got into speedrunning Pokemon games, especially the older titles, and how hard is Platinum compared to Leaf Green and Emerald. The first game I actually speedran that is still on YouTube is Pokemon Red Any% Glitchless. Don't watch it, that run is so bad. The reason I did that game first was because at the time it was the most popular Pokemon game to speedrun, due to all the manipulations and in-game battle glitches, and I cannot wait to go back into that game. And honestly, Platinum, it's not that much harder compared to Leaf Green and Emerald. They both have their challenges, but Platinum is more versatile since the physical special split is in Platinum. Although I will say Cynthia is not that difficult in Platinum, especially since you'll be a much higher level than her. Diamond and Pearl, however, may be harder since the Elite Four and Champion are much higher level. We'll find that out when I get to Pearl later this year. But other than that, Platinum is just longer, that's about it. Before we enter Veilstone City, we have to talk about the two mini-bosses of Platinum, Ace Trainer Maya and Dennis. While Maya is usually quite easy, Dennis can be somewhat difficult, especially since he has a Drifblim with Aftermath and a Buizel with Swift Swim, and since it's always raining on this route, it will basically outspeed everything I have. But today, they are both very easy. When I enter Veilstone City, I get both of the star pieces in this place. I've been collecting blue shards throughout the run as I find them, and along with the star pieces, which I can trade for one of each of the colored shards to the owner of the Fuego Ironworks, I'll be able to get shards for a move tutor move later in the run. But let's not worry about that now. It is now time to battle Maylene. With the trusty Thunder Punch on my side, the Meditite is a one-hit KO, and her Lucario is a one-hit with Brick Break. Her final Pokemon Machoke does survive a Thunder Punch, but it gets paralyzed and is unable to attack on the next turn, so I win the fight completely damageless. While I rescue Lucas from Team Galactic who stole his Pokédex, and I make the journey to Pastoria City, time for some more questions. I've been saving some of these questions for last, so I can do the quick ones first. Here's a big question from Irene Peep. He asks me, who are my top 10 favorite artists and songs from each of them? This took a bunch of time to think, not only the top 10, but my favorite song from each of them, especially since that list consistently changes. But as of making this video, here are my top 10 artists and favorite song from each. Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel, BB Rexa, Last Hurrah, John Denver, Shanghai Breezes, Aha, Take On Me, Lady Gaga, Poker Face, Ellie Goulding, Love Me Like You Do, Toby Keith, Made in America, The Cars, Breakaway, Taylor Swift, Red, Taylor's Version, and my favorite band of all time, Imagine Dragons, My Life. As you can tell, I like a variety of songs and artists, anywhere from pop, country, country pop, rock, and so much more. The list consistently changes though, plus I listen to so many different people, so I only chose people from my CD collection. I'm at around 70 or 80 so far, with around 1900 songs, but I hope to build it up even further. I think we have time for one more set of questions. Shro asks me the following. 1. What has been your favorite run so far? 2. What have you found to be the most challenging aspect of content creation? 3. What is the story behind your profile picture? My favorite run so far was Shedinja vs Wobbuffet. Not doing the run? Oh god no. It was the fact that I did it in the first place. I mean, my Wobbuffet run was over 6 frickin' hours long, on 3 times speed. The most challenging aspect is honestly getting past the low amount of views my videos have been getting lately, but now that I just hit 1,000 subs, I think it's going to get better. And finally, my profile picture. When I created my channel, I wanted a profile picture, so I decided to make one myself. I wanted something that looked frightening and serious and unique. So here was my first concept I drew in Microsoft Paint in 2018. I've made many more renditions across the years until Serena Vale, Scott's artist, gave me a free avatar for winning the Porygon race. Here are the other ones that I actually made myself. This one's actually my favorite. This is the one I traced on paper, and then I took a picture, traced over it, and drew it in Microsoft Paint. I'm still quite proud of it. I'm not good at digital art, but I'm quite good at traditional art, although I haven't drawn much of anything in years. Alright, it looks like we're here. In Pastoria City, I save the game, and I take on Rival 4. This fight is mostly the same as Rival 3, but just higher levels. But like I've said before, with Thunder Punch for Staravia, Buizel, Monferno, and then Return for Roselia, this fight was just not hard at all for Electivire. But I'm not ready to take on Wake yet. I need hidden power just like Lucario and Charizard did. But not for Gyarados this time. Those other Pokemon needed hidden power Electric to deal with him. Electivire actually struggles with Quagsire, since it has Mud Shot and its defense is so high, and most of the special moves that Electivire can learn are Electric type, which don't work on a ground type. So the hidden power I'm going with is Hidden Power Grass, which is Quagsire's only weakness. Plus this will help against rock types with low special defense. I equip the Amulet Coin, go to Route 212 to get the blue shard, and I grind on the Gentleman and Sociolite until I have enough money to go to the game corner to get the 6,000 coins needed for Hidden Power, teach it over Low Kick, and now I am ready for Crash or Wake. Gyarados is a one-hit with Thunder Punch as it should be expected. Next up is Quagsire, which goes down in one Hidden Power Grass, and then the final Floatzel is very easy with Thunder Punch. With 5 badges under our belt, we have to chase down the Team Galactic grunt who blew up the Great Marsh, and then go all the way to Celestic Town through the Foggy route. But while I do that, you know the drill. Batel the assistant asked me, 1. What was your first Pokemon game you've ever played? 2. What is your favorite Pokemon game? 3. What was inspiring you to start your YouTube journey? The first Pokemon game I ever played, I truly can't remember. Lots of the Gen 3 and 4 games I physically own to this day were hand-me-downs from my older siblings. The first ones I actually owned for myself was Pokemon White, but at the time I did play Platinum, Soul Silver, which I traded to my brother for Heart Gold, which I still have, as well as Pokemon Leaf Green. I actually didn't play Hoenn until the remakes came out. My favorite Pokemon game in the main series is Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, and my favorite side game is Pokemon Conquest, which I own several world records for. What inspired me to start my YouTube journey was actually people making their names well known for being very good at doing something. So I wanted to be good at something, and speedrunning ended up being my niche, as well as doing these challenge runs too. Now that I've arrived in Celestic Town, I examine the ancient cave painting and I take on the boss of Team Galactic, Cyrus. Since Sneasel is 4 times weak to fighting, one Brick Break just annihilates it, and then his Golbat and Murkrow go down with one Thunder Punch. Well, that was easy. Cynthia's grandmother gives me the HM for Surf, and I teach it to be Barrel. But before I go to Canalave City, I get the rare candy on Route 214, and then I enter the Fuego Ironworks north of Floroma Town. I get the TM for Flamethrower at the end, and then I talk to Mr. Fuego, and he gives me a star piece. I give that piece back to him, as well as the other pieces I found for more shards. So now I have enough for that move tutor move I need. But we're not going to worry about that just yet, as I get the rare candy in Floroma Meadow, Route 218, which is on the way to Canalave City, and then when I arrive at the city, I heal at the center and battle Rival 5. His team is a lot tougher since I last faced him, mostly since everything is now fully evolved. His Staraptor goes down to Thunder Punch, and during the fight, I do not teach Thunderbolt since Thunder Punch is just so much better for Electivire. Everything else afterwards is super easy for Electivire to take down. You know, despite the early game Electivire had, it's really starting to make up ground in the later portions of the run. With that victory under my belt, I get strength from Riley, go back to Candies City, enter the gym, and take on Byron. Magneton and Bastiodon are 4 times weak to ground moves, so one Earthquake devastates both of them, and his Steelix can survive an Earthquake due to its massive defense, so Flamethrower does the job. Now that we have even more villain plotline, including facing Saturn at Lake Valor, Mars at Lake Verity, and then going through the snowy routes to Snow Point City, I think it's time I answer the rest of the questions I have, and then just focus on the run for the rest of the video. Kangastan, another fellow PokeTuber, asks me, what was the first game you ever speedran? What non-Pokemon content do you enjoy watching in your spare time? Is there a story behind 0218 being in your username? Is your birthday February 18th? The first Pokemon game I ever speedran was Pokemon Dash, but that run's not on my channel anymore, but the first one that's still up is Pokemon Red. Some non-Pokemon content I enjoy watching is mostly Minecraft videos such as Hardcore, 100 Days, and lately, those funny ones where someone uses AI to make it sound like famous people are playing Minecraft, such as Trump, Biden, Obama, Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and so many more. I'm sorry, those are just hilarious. And finally, you want to know why my username is Speedrunner0218? Well, I'm not good at making usernames. You can probably tell since I nickname everything Speed. When I made my account, I wanted to be a speedrunner from the start, but I couldn't think of a name that would show people what I do. So I just stuck with Speedrunner, but I wanted to make a number at the end, so I came to 0218. Wanna know why? My channel was created in the second month of 2018. So February 2018, 02-18 or 0218. That is literally the story. Also, my birthday is September 9th. I've been doing birthday specials on my channel since I was 16 years old. My recent one was the Kanto Birds race redo in Leaf Green. I don't know what this year's birthday special will be, but I'll think of something. Leave a comment if you have an idea. We now have the final accounts to send me questions, so I'm going to do a small speedrun and answer them in rapid fire. Game Dev Made Easy asks me, okay, let's do this. 1. Which Pokemon game is your favorite to play and why? Pokemon Leaf Green. It's replayable, sprites are amazing, great post-game, and it's my favorite remake. 2. Which Pokemon game is your favorite to speedrun and why? Pokemon Red because it was what was popular at the time, plus all the manips you learn are crazy, plus all the in-game battle glitches. 3. What was the first Pokemon game you've ever played? I'm just gonna say it was Pokemon Leaf Green, but I was so young, who knows really. 4. Who is your favorite rival? Hugh, since your rival wants to get stronger, not to be the champion or just flat out hates you, but to rescue his sister's Purloin from Team Plasma, and once he gets it back, he accomplishes his goals and becomes laid back and just supports you from the sidelines. 5. Which starter is your favorite and why? My favorite starter is Oshawott because it is so cute and Samurott is so badass looking. I especially love the Hisuian form. 10 out of 10. 6. What got you into speedrunning Pokemon games? People like PulseFX, Worcester, and Skoagogo, as well as other speedrunners in other games I looked up to when I was 15. 7. What are your professional goals in life? I want to work at a management job at a retail place and get enough money to support a family in retirement. 8. What would your dream job be? A management job at a retail store, preferably a small one, so definitely no Walmart. 9. If you could create the perfect Pokemon game, which feature and visuals would it have? It would have the features that Black 2 and White 2 had, and it would have the visuals of Scarlet and Violet just minus the lag. But I will just say, I don't care what people say, Scarlet and Violet are very amazing games. I enjoyed them way more than Sword and Shield. Fight me in the comments. 10. If you build your dream computer, what would you have in it? It would be a computer with a dedicated graphics card like an NVIDIA, and enough processing power to export and edit videos real quickly, plus a lot of storage space. My computer is pretty decent. It's a office computer. I installed a ton of RAM in it and a graphics card that's just for processing power, so it helps a lot with editing. But I'd say this computer, one of the things I can really do to improve it is give it more storage space. Okay, phew, that's all the questions. For all of you who send me questions, thank you all so much, I very much appreciate it. But we do have a run to finish. As soon as I get to Snow Point City, I get the rare candy, heal at the center, buy some max repels at the mart, solve the gym puzzle without fighting any trainers, and then I take on Candice. Since I have the move Flamethrower, all of our Pokemon are going to be very easy one-hits, but Pillow-Swine somehow tanks a Flamethrower and it knocks me out with a critical hit Earthquake, which I was not expecting at all. On the next try, however, I get a better roll with Flamethrower and I knock out the Piloswine, Abomasnow, and then on Frostlass, I started missing Flamethrowers due to its ability Snow Cloak, which means during Hail, it gets +1 evasion. So when I finally landed one, it lived on little HP, and I was getting worried for a second since Frostlass does have Double Team, but I ended up winning the fight anyway. That would have been quite embarrassing if I had lost. I then go to Lake Acuity, see that my rival lost to Jupiter, probably to a critical hit Night Slash, and then I take on the Veilstone Galactic Hideout, and at the very end I get the Max Elixir for the League, and then I take on Cyrus yet again. He still has a Sneasel, which I very easily take out with Brick Break, and his final two Pokemon, although fully evolved into Crobat and Honchkrow, they are still no match for Thunder Punch. Cyrus says we can go release the Lake Trio from captivity, but Saturn doesn't let us do it quite easily, so I guess we need to take him out too. His Golbat goes down to 1 Thunder Punch, and then his Bronzor goes down to 1 Flamethrower, and finally is his ace Toxicroak. It takes multiple hits to take it out, mostly due to its bulk, but Electivire in reality is just breezing through everything. And you know what else it will be breezing through? All the Saga in Mount Coronet and the Spear Pillar. The fights on the way up are very easy, but one fight that can be filled with tons of luck is the multi-battle with Mars and Jupiter with help from my rival. Both of the lead Bronzor have Reflect and Light Screen, but I don't knock out the one I used Flamethrower on, so unfortunately both screens are set up. However, Bronzor are quite weak, and they are gone before you know it. When Skunk Tank comes out, I start using Earthquake to knock it and Munchlax out so my rival can send out something more f***ing useful. And then once Staraptor is out, my rival actually starts to get a body count going. So I start using Earthquake and Flamethrower to take out everything else. With Mars and Jupiter defeated, Cyrus summons Dialga and Palkia, but is taken into the Distortion World by Giratina, and we go in there to quell Giratina. But first, we gotta finish Cyrus off once and for all. He now has 2 more members on his team and everything is fully evolved. His Houndoom has bad defense, so I take it out with a super effective Earthquake. Gyarados does have the move Earthquake, but if it weren't for Thunder Punch, this fight would be way harder. The following Weavile, I used Earthquake instead of Flamethrower like an idiot, but once I realized what I did, I just used Thunder Punch on the Honchkrow and Crobat, and then just finish him off once and for all. Now, I can just run away from Giratina like a bitch, go back to the normal world, tell Rowan I'm still alive, and then I make my way to Sunnyshore City, where I get the hidden Zap Plate, which will boost my electric type moves by 20%, which is going to help a lot in the league. But right now, we need one more badge, so I defeat the gym trainers in the gym, and take on the final gym leader, Volkner. I was supposed to use a Max Ether on Earthquake and spam that move, but I apparently forgot to do it. I tried to win the fight anyway, but I should have known from the start that wasn't going to work. When I do remember to use the Max Ether, every single Pokemon is a one-hit KO with Earthquake, and Electivire finishes the gym challenge with a time of 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 2 seconds. Now, it's time for the endgame. I get Waterfall from Jasmine, go all the way to Victory Road, heal at the center, and take on the Victory Road Gauntlet. There are 8 trainers total in Victory Road that's mandatory, all of them with a variety of Pokemon. But one mistake I made is that I was supposed to go to Route 212 west of Pastoria City to get the move tutor to teach Electivire Ice Punch before I go in there. But I forgot, so some of the dragon tamers I had to take them on without it, which was not a good thing to do. But luckily you can still hit Pokemon underground with Earthquake, so I was able to take out this place without any resets. When I enter the Pokemon League, I heal at the center, buy full restores, leave to Route 212 and have the move tutor teach Ice Punch over Flamethrower, and before I take on the final 5 trainers, I face my rival one last time. This is actually the hardest rival fight in the game, mostly to him having Snorlax now. His first Staraptor is still not a threat thanks to Thunder Punch. I also forgot to equip the Zap Plate, which ended up not mattering anyway as Snorlax takes me out with a critical hit Earthquake. On the next attempt, I still don't have the Zap Plate equipped for some reason, but I did use 3 rare candies to level 65, which was the minimum level needed for this fight, because I just forgot to use them. When the Snorlax comes back out, I use Earthquake instead of Thunder Punch. I don't know why, so Snorlax ended up using Rest to heal its health back up, but this gives me a chance to knock it out. Heracross here doesn't have Earthquake, unlike the Champions Round 2 Heracross in Leaf Green, and then his Floatzel, Infernape, and Roserade are KO'd with a super effective Thunder Punch, Earthquake, and Ice Punch respectively. I then healed to full, and now I'm taking on the final 5 trainers. Let's do this shit. On Aaron, I used Ice Punch on the Yanmega, but it lives in red health. But after a few more Ice Punches, because some of them missed, I am able to take it out. The Heracross is next, but it takes me out with Mega Horn. Okay, that was quite bad. Let's do that again. I decided to use Thunder Punch on the Yanmega instead since I get stabbed from it, and then it knocks it out in one hit. This time, the Heracross uses Close Combat, which only does half, and the rest of his team is a one-shot sweep, which would have been true if the Scizor didn't defeat me. Well, then I guess it wasn't a one-shot sweep then. Okay, I realized the problem. I was supposed to use some rare candies before this fight, and with the help of the rare candies I used to get to level 68 over a damage rounding threshold, I am finally able to defeat Aaron. Next up is Bertha. She was what I was afraid of the whole run. However, this is what I have Ice Punch for. This is Electivire's best way to hit pure ground types. Plus I still have Hidden Power Grass if I need it, like for the Wishcash, Golem, and Rhyperior, which are all 4 times weak to grass, and Gliscor is 4 times weak to ice. The only Pokemon that can survive more than one hit are Hippowdon, but once I'm past it, despite the chip damage from the Sandstorm, I win this battle on the first try. Next up is Flint, the Fire-type Elite Four member. Okay, 3 runs in a row, this guy was just such a pushover. I'm actually thinking his Diamond and Pearl team might be harder due to the type diversity. We'll find out if that's true when I do Pearl later in the year. I did get a reset on Flint and had to start back at Bertha, but that was because I forgot to heal and I didn't save before Flint since he's usually a pushover. The final Elite Four member is Lucian. Since I have nothing for super effective damage, I just use my most powerful move, which is Thunder Punch. I then use all my rare candies, a max elixir, and I take on the champion of Sinnoh, Cynthia. Her Spiritomb can be a great Pokemon to set up on, but I don't have any setup moves, so I'm on the offensive. One Thunder Punch boosted by a Zap Plate is so close to defeating it, but then Cynthia switches into Garchomp and it looks like Ice Punch will one-hit KO it. That's good. If I couldn't defeat it in one hit, its Earthquake would have done so much damage. When Spiritomb comes back out, I defeat it, and then in a series of one-shots, I take out Lucario, Togekiss, Roserade, and my Lotic, and I get a final time of 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 47 seconds, and a game time at the Hall of Fame of 5 hours and 46 minutes. Okay, with the exception of its ground type weakness, low defense, and the very bad move pool in the early game, Electivire did pretty great. But unfortunately, it is slower than Lucario, but it did beat Charizard by 7 minutes. But Electivire's game time was so much higher. I think this is because Electivire had to black out a bunch of times since I died and I didn't save, so I just did that. But we're not done yet. It is now time to face the second round of the Elite Four. After I finish up the post-game side quests and end Team Galactic once and for all at Stark Mountain, I go back to the Elite Four with the same moveset, since the second round have all of the same Pokemon, and then I go take them on one last time. Despite Aaron's levels being higher than they were before, it doesn't change the fact that I use the same strategy on him. I take out his Yanmega with Thunder Punch in one hit. His Heracross goes down with 2 Thunder Punches after Electivire survives a Mega Horn doing over 3/4 of my HP. The Vespiq one is a one-shot with Thunder Punch, and the Scizor unfortunately survives an Earthquake and it takes me out with X-Scissor. Okay, time for the emergency rare candies, which I do allow in the second round since the run is already over. After coming back to this fight at level 83, back at the Scizor which knocked me out with X-Scissor last time, it wasn't able to knock me out since the Heracross decided to use Night Slash instead of Mega Horn, which is quite appreciated. Bertha starts off with me using Hidden Power to take out the Wish Cache, and then Hippowdon, the only Pokemon capable of surviving a single hit, used a Yawn on me, and this scared me, so I decided to reset rather than just lose eventually. I come back at level 85 hoping to do some better ranges on the Hippowdon, and I use Hidden Power, which does more than half. Luckily, Hippowdon goes for Earthquake instead, and while it does a lot of damage, none of her other Pokemon can do anything to me, as they go back into their pokeballs as soon as they come out. The next hard fight is Lucian, since there is no hard fight after Bertha and before Lucian. Anyway, the plan is to spam Thunder Punch on everything. It would have been nice to have Flamethrower or Fire Punch for Bronzong, but it practically gave me the win since it kept spamming Calm Mind, and with that Steel-type tank and the Alakazam down, Gallade survives a Thunder Punch, but Psycho Cut does almost nothing, and I can finally move on to the champion Cynthia one last time. Let's see if her Spiritomb goes down in one Thunder Punch this time. Nope, but at least it doesn't get into heal range, so I can take it out quite easily. Unfortunately, Garchomp does not go down in one Ice Punch, but for the first time this entire run, Ice Punch actually freezes something, so I didn't have to worry about Garchomp at all. And I didn't have to worry about our other Pokemon as they served no threat to Electivire. And Electivire has defeated the second round of the Pokemon League. This run was quite fun to do, but what is even more fun was hitting 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently in the process of applying for the YouTube Partner Program. If you all like the type of videos that I make and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to help support these videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon. There will be a list of benefits coming soon as I get enough patrons. Also, feel free to join my Discord server if you want to chat to me or anyone else in Team Speedsters directly. Thank you all for watching, look forward to Volcarona being released in the next few days, and I'll see you all in the next speedrun.